Rise and shine, it's a brand new day. Ken and Ken take the stage, ready to play. Weekdays at 10, the cars on the scene. Coffee in hand, they're living the dream. Question in the voice, got the whole town awake. Bringing fire to the mic, make no mistake. Shows in the corner, spitting out facts. Dropping truth bombs, ain't holding back. Ken and Ken in the morning, feel the heat. From 10 a.m. CST, can take a seat. Live that loud, that break in the mind. Light up your speakers, crank up the sound. They're talking about life upside down. Opinions exploding like a sonic blast. In the studio, they're built to last. With passion and grit, they engage and ignite. Every single week, they're a force can't fight. From sports to politics.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Hey, good morning and welcome to another edition of Ken and Ken in the Morning. Of course, with me is Ken. How you doing this morning, brother?
Oh, not too bad. There we go. We are now all shared.
I just sent it to Packers Twitter as well. I'm still saying the different Twitters. You know, the short video, I tell you. Should I send it to the Raiders Twitter this morning? No, I sent it to the Lions. There we go.
What's up there, Joe?
What's up, guys?
Oh, not much. You know, having the fun time of pretty much no football news.
Well, there was something. Cam Jordan came out and said, hey, can we bring taunting back? And you know what? I agree with him.
So do I.
Bring the taunting back. Bring that gamesmanship back of the trash talk and the taunting. I mean, why did they ever get rid of it? Oh, that's right. It was part of the woke initiatives. Just stop with the babying. These are grown-ass men. Let them taunt.
I think it's for the whole, well, it's not family-friendly, and we shouldn't be teaching kids to do this. Like you don't see kids taunting each other all the time.
Dude, do you watch our politicians in the news? That's all they do. This morning, I heard something I have not heard from a sitting president. I can't remember when. The dude cursed. I guess the stuff with Israel and Iran isn't, you know, the ceasefire hasn't been, let's just say, as smooth. And he, quote, said, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And he said it forcefully as he walked off to get on Marine One. I was like, holy shnikes. How often do you, A, hear a sitting president curse, and then, B, do so with authority?
Uh-huh. Shit, I cannot think of a single time.
But he said they don't know what the fuck they're doing. I was like, I mean, before he said that, he broke it down. Like, these guys have been fighting so hard so long. He's trying to be, you know, statesman-like, you know, like trying to, for both, give them both a little room out, right? Like they've been fighting so hard for so long, they don't know anything else, blah, 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 blah. And at the end, someone asked him something, he turned and said, they just don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's like, holy crap. I'm like, so, you know, look, watch our politicians, right? Our politicians taunt Jasmine Crockett thinks that anything the country does has to run through her. So, I mean, and they go on social media and they talk about it, the news reports it, the kids see it. So, you know, if Cam Jordan wants to do a victory dance when he sacks a quarterback, let him do the victory dance. If they want to do a TD celebration, let them do a TD celebration. If they want to taunt a guy when they pick him off, let them taunt the guy because that's real life.
Mm-hmm. Shit, and if you don't like it, you better find a way to stop the guy to get him to shut up.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
And to be honest, the enforcement of the no taunting is so wishy-washy at best.
Yeah. Max Crosby was calling Gardner Minshew a little-ass boy the whole game. Little-ass boy. Little-ass boy.
But no, I mean, like with the public displays that the fans see, like having them talk trash to each other, like, come on, it's not like they're all mic'd up on the intercom for the stadium. So, okay, fine. But they, you know, but then, like, you know, when they do their little dance and that, they want to throw flags, you know, unnecessary celebrations. Like, yeah, but if Patrick Mahomes does it, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
right?
You answered your own question.
Yeah, if certain players do it, it's fine. If other players do it, no, we got to throw a flag.
If Patrick Mahomes does it, he's just a fierce competitor.
Mm-hmm.
So let's bring back the trash talk in the game. I mean, look at the game. That's the game within the game, right? And I don't think people.
One of my favorite moments was when Brett Favre gets lambasted by somebody. I forgot which team it was now. He stands up after and he goes, "Who hit me? You hit me? I thought you could hit harder than that." And I mean, he plastered him too.
I mean, like the best examples of trash talk though aren't in the NFL. Okay, it's the NBA. And you go and seriously, like I don't know what's been the last couple of months, but all these videos about Michael Jordan been coming out, right? And it's like Kevin Garnett talking about, they're talking about something. He's like, yeah, but you don't trash talk Michael. People are like, wait a minute, what are we talking about? Okay, go ahead. And he tells a story how he said one thing to Mike, and that was it. His world was over, right? And Reggie Lewis had his story, and like all these Hall of Famers come out. Even AI is like, yeah, man, you don't talk to Michael. He's like, because if you talk to Michael, bad things happened, right? And these are great stories about how trash talking the NBA, though, because Michael was the most prolific trash talker in NBA history. Hell, even Larry Bird wouldn't, and he was a trash talker too, wouldn't talk trash to MJ, right? And the NBA was fine with the taunting and the trash talk and all that. In fact, no one knew that Bird, seriously, if I didn't tell you that just now, would you know that Larry Bird was a massive trash talker? He was the trash talker till MJ showed up. And you've heard about MJ a little bit post-career, but during his career, would you ever have thought that MJ was this big trash talker who taunted people all day? No. So let him do it. It's a part of the game.
Oh, absolutely. Shit. That story reminds me of when you'd see all the opposing players that would mock Aaron Rodgers' championship belt celebration.
Yeah.
And he'd go down and break it off in their ass for the whole rest of the game.
I mean, but that's just it. That's why you let them do it.
Mm-hmm.
You let them do it. I mean, if they, if they want to celebrate, they do get their little celebrations after the sack a little bit, but I like it when they were able to get in the face and point at the guy and say something. Now if you do that, that's a flag. It's like, why? What's wrong with me saying "gotcha, bitch"?
I like the touchdown celebrations, like when they used to do the Carlton or when T.O. pulled a Sharpie out of his sock and signed the ball.
Awesome.
Now look, I give all credit to the Miami Dolphins and Tyreek Hill because they always come up with the most unique touchdown celebrations. Like the ones we're seeing now, they're not bad. There are some good ones, but I mean, just the regular. The NFL's been pretty good about not throwing flags on touchdown celebrations for the most part, especially
unless you mock shooting somebody or a bow and arrow. Then we got to throw you off the team.
If you do the third hip thrust, you might get a flag. But that was a great parody video. The Dirty Bird is the best celebration. They're okay, but let them taunt. Let them point at the dude and be like, "Gotcha, bitch." I mean, come on. I'm with Cam on this one. It's like, all right, Rand, let the guys play. Let them have some fun. Let them.
You're playing a game where you could literally snap your ACL in an instant, and you're not allowed to hurt a guy's feelings. Yep. Come on, man.
Well, and just it drives competition, right? When I burn you for a play and I turn and go, "Gotcha, bitch," you're gonna turn around. You're gonna try to make sure that doesn't happen again, and you're gonna it's that little extra insult adds a little extra fuel in your fire, right? So. Yeah. Let them go.
I can't speak for the pros because they're professionals. Maybe they don't let it get into their head. But I can tell you, as a former high school football player, trash talk was dude, you can get into a guy's head. You can intimidate him, and this guy don't want nothing to do with you. He don't want to block you now. You know what I mean? Like
the best example though still is MJ, because like they would be like, you didn't want to get the tongue, you know. They said this is how you knew MJ was mad. He'd sit there with the arms crossed on the bench, just look at you. And you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, what did I say? Or like when he got down, put his hands on the knees and just let the tongue hang and kind of looked over. You're like, crap, we said something. MJ's about to go off. And like you listen to these videos of all these Hall of Famers in the NBA talking about this, like the trash talk game and the taunting with MJ. Like you learned quick, you don't taunt MJ, right? Reggie Miller was like, I taunted him. I was a rookie. I said, oh, look, I've got 12 and you've got 6. He goes, that was at the end of the first half. At the end of the second half, I had 12. He had 40. I mean, taunting, man, look, it gets players going. So if you taunt, it's not necessarily a good thing for you, right? Mm-hmm. You taunt a guy, now he's going to go burn you a la MJ. So let him taunt, man. Let him bring it back. I mean, who cares? It's like it's a game. Who cares about feelings? This is a football game. This isn't badminton.
So I said you're trying to tear their heads off, but you got to talk nice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, man. It's like,
well, you've got yourself such a nice, lovely family. Oh, I'm sorry that I had to hit you.
Are we meeting for tea after the game still? Are we going to have tea and crumpets and are we going to do high tea tomorrow? Okay, just making sure. Yeah, tell Jenny I said hey and tell the kids I send my love. No, that's not what they're saying.
No. See, this is why I absolutely love Tucker Kraft for Green Bay, because he had that interview there where he says, when anybody talks trash to me on the field, I just sit there and tell them, I'm going to find your childhood home and I'm going to burn it to the ground.
I mean, I'm surprised the NFL isn't going after players for what they're saying off the field. Like right now, going after Caleb because he says, "Oh, Green Bay fans suck. Fuck Green Bay." I mean, he's going full blown Green Bay hater this week, right? Fans are eating it up and they're loving it. I'm surprised the NFL's like, Caleb, you can't say that. That's mean. It's like, whatever, dude. It's a war. It's a gladiator sport. I mean, it's not let's make peace. It's let's rip each other's heads off to win this football game. Like, let the dudes taunt. Let them.
I'm actually glad that Caleb's embracing. He's going full heel.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going. Yeah, exactly. Go to the SEAL wrestling term. He's going full heel. And I'm like, you know what? Just let him do it. Let him do it. I mean,
it makes for good television.
On the field too.
Yep. And the thing that bothers me is like Caleb says this, and then the NFL is going to come out and say, "Oh, Caleb, you really shouldn't say that, right?" But then when the Packers and the Bears play, that's going to be the whole topic of conversation. Is like, oh, well, Caleb said Packer fans suck, and they're gonna use that to drum up that rivalry.
Yeah. Well, look at what's think about taunting. What's the most historic play in sports history?
I was going to say that's very subjective.
No, it's not. There is one play that everyone knows, no matter what sport you like. It's the most historic play in sports history.
Babe Ruth calling his own home run?
Yep. Now that's taunting on an epic level. Calling the shot like that was a taunting on the most epic level, and is the most famous play in sports history, and one of the most celebrated and mimicked. Calling your shot, telling that opposing pitcher, "Oh, it's going to the bleachers," and then he did it. Right? I mean, it is one of the most iconic taunts in sports history. It's celebrated. Let the dudes taunt. Let them talk their trash. It's a part of the game.
Yep.
Honestly, it is the most famous, but I would rather have a hitter point to the stands and then knock it out of the park than get postered like in the NBA where you got a picture with some dude dunking on you and his nuts are on your face. You know what I mean? That's just me.
Oh yeah, Isaac. I know they're trying to insert themselves into the conversation. Look in the NFC North, there's only one rivalry. Okay, and it's Ken versus Ken, Bears versus Packers. The Lions, the Vikings, you guys are like you're that first bet. You know, like okay, if it was a heavyweight boxing night, you're like the warm-up fight to the Bears Packers. Okay, that is the rivalry, not just in the division but in football. The rivalry. The Lions want to insert themselves in because they're actually somewhat good right now. Same with the Vikings. I get it. But here's the thing. I've watched games where the Bears were the worst team in the league and they'll go in and beat the Packers. And I've watched games where the Packers were the worst team in the league because I'm old enough for that. And the Packers beat the Bears. I remember a Kevin Butler 53-yarder in Lambeau in negative whatever temperatures it was, freezing cold when the Packers were winning the division. The Bears were going nowhere. And the Bears go up there and beat them. I remember the Bears going up to Brett Favre night on Thursday Night Football, Thanksgiving, and beating the snot out of the Packers on Brett Favre's night. This is what division rivals do, right? And I remember the Bears not being able to win a game for almost 5 years or 6 years, whatever.
No, it was going to go with the Aaron Rodgers, I still own you, because I think he might have took that Brett Favre night loss personally.
He probably did. And that's a beautiful thing. He can say all these things about he owns. I'm like, dude, on the biggest night of your life as a Packer in Green Bay, we beat you. Shut the fuck up and sit down. And he still wants to talk trash. And it's gonna be funny when he loses to the NFC North in total this year.
If he still runs it with the Bears again, dude, and it'll be no matter what team I'm on, I own you.
I want to watch him lose to all 4 teams in NFC North. I want to see him lose all 4 games. And believe it or not, I don't know why I put Bill up here sometimes. To believe it or not, I want him to lose to the Packers for one reason and one reason only. He's not going to be the 5th member of the 32 club. Well, see, Mike, that's because you're not old enough to know. Sorry. The 3 rage comes to play. I've been watching Bears-Packers games forever. Before you
not all of us little dinosaurs.
So, I mean, but it's a rivalry. It is a true rivalry. The Lions, the Vikings, not so much. They're just kind of like, okay, they're division games, so there's a little something there, but But no, I actually want to see Aaron.
I'm going to give it to the Vikings that they started a rivalry when they broke Aaron Rodgers' collarbone there, and then kept bringing it up and rubbing it in his face.
Yeah, I kind of want Aaron to lose to Green Bay though, just so he can't be in the All 32 club. Because that's the only reason he wants to beat Green Bay is so he can say he beat all 32 teams. It's like, okay, cool, but yeah, I mean, it's the trash talk needs to come back. It helps fuel the rivalries as Bill and Mike go on in the comments with each other. It's a rivalry, right? So look, for some people, they make their living off the rivalry. They get their clicks and their views just on that rivalry alone.
You better hope that the Bears don't lose to the Steelers because.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
The trash talk will be
Rodgers doing the belt thing again. Oh
yeah, bringing back the old discount double check.
Yeah.
Double check.
I mean, that's part of the game, though, right? That's why we watch, right? So I mean, that's why we watch is for those types of things. And look, it works. It's highly successful for a lot of people, right? And it works for the NFL because it sells tickets. So why not let these guys just go at it? And I feel why limit it to just, well, if you're Aaron, you can talk trash, but if you're Cam Jordan, no.
I was going to say, come on. We all loved the exchange between Richard Sherman and Michael Crabtree.
Dude, yeah. I mean, or you know what? Look, here's
Richard.
Jair and JJ was a good one too.
Oh, I love that one.
Right? Like, let these guys go. I mean, I like watching. Like,
see, I thought you were talking You said Richard Sherman, but I thought you were talking about Richard Seymour. And I was going to say, no, that was Ben Roethlisberger. I enjoyed that exchange personally.
Look, because you can't when you're like Bears Packers can't be every week. That might be a good thing, so we probably want to kill people by the end of 17 games straight. But I mean, it makes you want to watch the other games when there's some good trash talk to watch, right? I mean, it's like, why would I care about the Saints versus the Colts? I wouldn't. But if there's some good trash talk going on, you might watch. It might be there's something, right? There's something when they're talking trash before the game and the build-up. There's something to it. It's like, okay, that game might be worth watching. I probably won't, but still. It gives you something like the whole Jair JJ thing. That was fun to watch. I mean, the trash talk.
I got midterms. I'll see you guys later.
All right, have a good one, Joe.
Good luck, buddy.
I mean, that's what makes it fun. I mean, Eagles, Commanders, or Niners, Cowboys. I mean, the trash talk and everything that goes along with it. I don't mind that they trash talk during the game. I mean, the fans do all the trash talk they want. They're going to be there are some fans who trash talk 24/7, 365. Cool, right? But I mean,
I was going to say that's the fun part of being a fan.
Let the players do it during the game again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think it hurt the game when they did it. I didn't see any real negative effects from someone going, gotcha, bitch. I mean,
But the only negative effect you see is somebody getting their chain snatched.
Yeah, and then if they're stupid enough to wear their chain during the game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some of these guys, like, they take their helmet off, they got the big stud earrings, the chains. Like, you go in the club or you playing a football game, dude?
I never understood that shit. Because if that helmet just hangs up a little bit, you now got an extra permanent hole in your ear.
Yeah. So yeah, I did see an article about that. So Cam Newton he was a good trash talker though too. Speaking of Cam Jordan though, saying let us talk trash, let us enjoy the game, let's have fun with it, and it is a part of the game. I mean, think about it, it just lets the game flow. Like if the guy wants to talk trash, just let it out instead of bottling it in. I mean, let it out. Let them talk their trash. I think it makes the game a lot more fun. And look, if the fan doesn't piss you off and your guy's getting trash talk, yeah, it does. But guess what? It pisses your guy off too, and now he wants to do better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so there's an inverse to it, right? It's like talking trash can get you in trouble. Because now the guy's going to, like, really come at you hard and probably maybe beat you. And now don't you look stupid for talking trash.
Mm-hmm. It's all a part of the psychological warfare of the game.
Yeah.
Because some guys... like Aaron Rodgers, Michael Jordan, they're going to burn you for that. Other guys are going to fall completely into the shell and, oh, my God.
Jordan, man, that dude, like even Larry Bird, like people didn't realize. They had a documentary on the Celtics on HBO. It was like a 9-episode docuseries. And I did not realize how much trash talk that dude did until I saw that series. Oh, my God, that dude was and you never knew it as a fan.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just crazy. So, yeah, I mean, bring the trash talk back. I think that might be good. Other than that, I mean, hell, look, it'll make Lions and Vikings fans feel like they're more of a part of it, I guess, because they're not really in the rivalry. But that goes to beg the question that I think a little conversation we were having yesterday is the NFC, and we've kind of had a couple times touched on it. Is the NFC North truly the best division in football?
We like to think so, but unfortunately, last postseason kind of showed that we're not.
So if the Bears are off-season champs, the NFC North are in-season champs, and the East is just the champs.
Oh, God.
No, Carl, it's like, well, first off, I was in high school when he was playing, but I just didn't track trash back then like I did now. So, yeah, I mean, I was younger, so I didn't you didn't track the trash talk. Like, in MJ, you knew he talked trash a little bit, but you didn't, not to the scope that we now know we know it is, right? Like you didn't track it back in the 80s and 90s as much. It was like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't realize how prolific of a trash talker he was. Like, you knew they talked a little bit of trash. You could see the finger waves and stuff like that. But yeah, just epic proportions of trash talk. But back to the conversation, is the NFC North the best division in football? And you might be at a point like the playoffs last year say no.
Mm-hmm.
The records in the regular season and the 4 teams in the division and the stat lines could make another argument.
Yeah. But as Packer fans, we've heard the regular season don't matter. It's only the postseason. So the logic's got to apply straight across the board or nowhere.
Damn logic. Yeah. So coming into this season, let's break it down to AFC, NFC. In the AFC, what's the best division of AFC coming into the season in your estimation?
The North with honorable mention of the West.
All right, so if I look at I would tend to agree with you, but let's look at the AFC for a minute, so we got time. So the AFC North, I mean, first off, we'll start with Baltimore. Yeah, just talent level is high.
And they're a consistent winner.
Coaching is at a high level. They added Jair, which is going to improve that already really good defense more if he's playing. Right? But let's make the assumption right now that he's playing until otherwise, because right now he's healthy. So until he's not healthy, he's playing. I mean, they've got, and look at, they added an older receiver, but for what they do, he might be perfect. So, I mean, they got to be the class of the division. Then you go to Pittsburgh. Good defense. Offense, they added weaponry.
I think good defense is underselling it a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, so very good defense. Offensively, they added a receiving weapon, and now they've got Rodgers at quarterback, which I don't know. I mean, he's an upgrade over Russ, but I don't know how much of an upgrade.
Oh, he was still a top 10 quarterback last year with all the nonsense going on with the Jets.
And that's kind of amazing when you look at his stat line. But even last year, Ken, you remember we saw some throws that normally would have been easy for him, that like where they fell short. So he's obviously somewhat of the decline.
Oh, you've seen this for a few years now with Rodgers, that how he used to, if he would miss somebody, he'd miss them high. But the past few years, he's been driving them into the dirt.
Yeah. So, so they're still really good. Then you go to Cincy, great offense. Well, actually, great quarterback with a great receiving tandem that can just put up points almost at will, it seems. But their defense is highly suspect. But they do have the best pass rusher in the game, and they will get him re-signed. I don't see them. I have a feeling that's going to work out, but their defense is suspect. And then who am I missing?
Cleveland.
Dude, scary defensive line. And actually, I don't think their quarterback situation, like we say, it's a hot mess, but there's a lot of talent in that quarterback room.
I'm not going to say there's a lot of talent in that room.
There's enough talent to win them games, to be serviceable enough to win games.
You got Joe Flacco that's good for about 6.
Yeah, keep going.
And then you have no idea where anybody else in that quarterback room is going to do.
No, don't they got who's the other guy they signed?
Kenny Pickett.
Who
absolutely sucks.
So they're the weakest in that division, and their questions probably more at quarterback. All right, so then we go to the West. And in all 4 cases, what's one last piece of criteria, coaching. Coaching in the East, I don't have a problem with either coach, but I think Tomlin may be on the hot seat if he doesn't win a playoff game.
Yeah, he very well could be. At least from the fan perspective, you hear a lot of Steelers fans calling for it.
So, hold on a second. There you go, Carl. Check your DMs in your Facebook page. Bill would like to talk to you. So okay, now let's look at the AFC West coaching.
Phenomenal.
No one's in trouble losing their job there. All right, so who's the class of that? Are we going with Kansas City being the top dog still?
Until they're knocked off, I think you have to give it to them. But San Diego's trying their damnedest to do it.
So KC,
you know what I mean.
I mean, you look at, they went to the Super Bowl again. They've been the AFC Championship 7-8 years in a row. So okay, so they're still really good. Yeah, the Chargers coming up, right? A little bit of a surprise season last year, considering they had no receiving core, at least we thought coming in. Right? So they're looking good, but they lose a little something on defense, but they maintain some defense. Okay.
Denver's another up-and-coming one.
Did not expect them to be a playoff team last year.
And I wouldn't be shocked again if they make another wild card.
And then the Raiders. And look at and the Raiders are upcoming too. They got a lot of talent, new coach, better quarterback, great tight end. They've got some weapons. They got some guys on defense. So yeah, they have a terrible tie. Bowers isn't that good. So like when you look at the two,
now you're going to make Joe come back from his midterm.
So look at those two divisions. You got Baltimore, KC. Okay, let's say we call that a draw, right? So then let's go Pittsburgh, Cincy.
Yeah, don't you mean Pittsburgh and Chargers?
Or I mean Pittsburgh. Thank you, Pittsburgh and Chargers.
I'd call that a push too.
Okay, so now you go Cincy, Denver.
Oh. I'm going to give the slight edge to Denver because I think they have more of a complete team than Cincy does.
Joe Burrow is going to beat them 9 times out of 10. I'm going to go with Cincy. And then you go Las Vegas Raiders and Cleveland Browns.
Coin flip. That's what I'm going to give it for Vegas and Browns.
Right, so if you call that one a push, we could easily say the West is just as good, if not or better than the North. Let's see if Motown Mitch has changed his intro today.
Nope.
Nope. It's the same. Okay. On that $10 discount. So AFC West came up a little. Now, if we go to the NFC, the argument will be the North and the East.
Yep.
Right? Okay, well, Philly is the champs. So they're going to take out Detroit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'd say they would have beat the brakes off of them.
Then you go, who was second place? Washington was second place in that division last year.
Against the Vikings?
Against the Vikings.
I'd give that a toss-up.
And then you go Green Bay against
the Cowboys.
And that's Green Bay.
Yeah.
That's because the Dallas can't figure out Green Bay. And then you go Bears-Giants.
And I'd give the edge to the Bears against the Giants.
So, I mean, we could make the argument that while the NFC East may have the best team in the NFC, the North is the better division. Which is, so it's almost like a little more clear cut on the North, on the NFC side than is the AFC side, maybe. But I mean, when I look at when I compare the two, the Eagles are going to be probably the team in the NFC to beat this year, right? They're still the team. They're still super good. When you look at, then when I break down the rest of the East, Washington overachieved last year, so I don't know if they're really that good because they were definitely overachieved last year.
Yeah, we got to see this year if they maintain or take a step back or even take a step forward.
Right. And look, people say, but you could say the same thing about Denver, but Denver's coach, I take Denver's coach over New York's coach. Over
Dan Quinn for the,
Washington's coach.
I'm definitely taking Sean Payton over Dan Quinn.
Yeah. And then you go, Packers, Cowboys. You look at those two teams. The Packers are super stable. Didn't have a lot of turnover. They had some. Every team had some, but they basically kept the core is intact. We'll put it that way. Dallas, player-wise, the core is intact.
Yeah.
They didn't lose any of their studs. They added a better DC with Eberflus. The guy was not a good head coach, but he does design a good defense. So their defense will probably improve, and they got some talent. Offensively, though, it's like, what did they do to improve there? And how many?
They got rid of Mike McCarthy. That's an improvement.
They did. That is an improvement. So they're improved. And then you look at Bears Giants. The Bears went from the second least amount of money in the NFL on the offensive line to the sixth most money in the NFL on the offensive line. So they definitely tried to address their biggest problem, the offensive line. The Giants, they did as well. They've got a scary good defensive front, and they went and they signed 2 veteran quarterbacks, brought in some more weaponry. So they should be an improved team. And really, they're thinking like Dart could start by mid-season end. So there's some high hopes in New York. So really, it's a pretty close division. The parity in this league, you're talking one play. For most of these games, North versus East, it's a one-play difference. Who gets a lucky bounce? Who gets a flag their way? I wouldn't say, if we're going to say the North is better, I'll say, okay, fine, I'll agree. I'll give the homer discount. There'll be some homerism there because we're North guys. But I would quantify it and say, look, it's going to be the North, but you're talking like, it's not like it's the North by a mile. It's like by a centimeter.
I'll relatively give you that because the Vikings, I think, have a better roster than the Redskins, but the Redskins played a lot better cohesively. They got more out of their guys with what they had to work with.
In the regular season, obviously, they could have been the number 2 seed, could have the Vikings, right? If they didn't have the season system the way it is. I don't know. I just think they were cohesive. The Redskins so overachieved with a bunch of scrappy guys that no one else wanted. They pulled off the heap, and they had a phenomenal season. That's why I question them, though, this year, because I kind of look at them like the 18 Bears. A little bit different. The 18 Bears had a little bit more youth, right, than what last year's Skins had. But it's the same thing. They were a year ahead of schedule. Like last year's team in Washington was, when they built it, like, well, let's at least be competitive so we're not, terrible, and still get some draft picks to continue to build this team around Jaden. Well, they were too good. They got to the NFC Championship, so that screwed up their draft a little bit for them getting, the blue chips earlier. They still got blue chips in the draft, and they still signed some guys, but they overachieved. And look, and Redskins fans are going to expect look at. If you don't think there are Commander fans who aren't out there like Detroit fans were last year, come on. There are Commander fans out there who think they're destined to go back to the NFC Championship game this year, that they are going to beat everyone in the NFC, and that they're all world. There are guys out there like that.
I was going to say, you can't fault them for having that mindset as a fan, because when you see such a huge leap, you expect that it's going to continue to grow.
You do. I get it. That's why I get why Bears fans have been so excited the last couple of years, because the team is doing the right things in the offseason, bringing in.
It's not translating.
It just isn't translating. Yeah, it just. And then you have to look back and go, well, why isn't it translating? And for the Bears, it was like, well, the coaching, is the next step. That's why it wasn't translating. So now they've made that change. So if it doesn't translate for the Bears over the next year or two, then you're going to go, well, why is it still not translating? Because we know we brought in good players. You can look at their numbers. You can look at their play before they got to Chicago, or when we drafted them, what their draft stock was. Like, you can't miss on all of them. So what would the problem be, right? And
the Lovie Smith curse.
What now?
The Lovie Smith curse.
I don't buy into the Lovie Smith curse, because Lovie Smith turned around and gave us the first round pick that we used to build where we are now. So I don't buy into the
I was going to say that only goes to further it. You guys fired him, and he's still trying to help you out.
Yeah, look, I don't blame the Bears when they fired him. The dude's best offense was 2006, and they were ranked 15th in the league. I mean, his defenses were always great, and players loved him. Yes, players responded well, but he was terrible at hiring offensive coordinators. And honestly, that was his downfall in Chicago, because while his defenses were good, they couldn't score points consistently to win games. Like even the Super Bowl year, how'd they get there? We got there in the backs of the defense. And it's not like they didn't have talented players on offense. They had some good people on offense, but they never had good coaching on offense. And that's why Lovie Smith eventually was let go, because kind of like Tomlin, you can't have all this sustained success and do nothing. And that's unfortunate. But, I mean, for the Bears, they do the right – fans get excited because, oh, my God, okay, we drafted a great quarterback. We got all these receivers. Like the stuff I was saying last year. It's a wet dream. You've got 3 great receivers there, high-quality receivers. You got a really good tight end. You got a running game. Oh, but your offensive line sucks because, you know, it just does for whatever reason, injuries and everything else. And so I get it. And now this year, fans are going, well, look, fans should be excited. They get Tooney, who's ranked number 3 in the league as a tackle, number 1 as a guard, number 1 at left guard in the league. Okay, great. Jonah Jackson put up good numbers as a guard when he was with Detroit. Last year had some injury issues with LA. Fine. But there's still room for excitement because you look at his 4 years, 3 of them are really high quality. Last year, maybe just an anomaly with an injury. So they got reason to be happy there. Then you look at Dahlman, and like this is a young stud center who's ranked the top center in free agency. Bears fans should be a little bit excited for seeing that. Right? So, hey, what? AFC East All-Stars over the NFC North All-Stars any day. No. AFC East. Are you sure you meant the AFC East there, Carl? I mean, am I taking Justin Jefferson or Tyreek Hill? Let's start there with the top 2 receivers. I'm taking Justin Jefferson.
I was going to say, in this time period, I'm taking Justin Jefferson.
Okay, who's the second best receiver in the AFC East? Waddle?
No. The Jets there. Drawing a freaking blank on his name.
I know you're talking about. So are you taking him?
Yep.
Okay, so you're taking him, or who'd be the second best receiver in the NFC North?
St. Brown.
I'm taking St. Brown. I hate to admit it. More consistent.
Yeah.
And then wide receiver 3, Waddle and DJ Moore. I take DJ Moore because, once again, more consistent. Quarterbacks. Best quarterback in the AFC. Well, I'll take Josh Allen.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'll take Josh Allen. Okay, there. Tight ends. Laporta, Knox. I'll take Laporta over Knox. So I don't know if the AFC East. Well, and there's the whole Ron Rivera aspiring to. That's also true, Carl. There's some of that, but for me, I look at it just like he just couldn't produce offensively. That's why Lovey ended up being going. But yeah, the Ron Rivera thing did play into that a little bit too. But I mean, that was my biggest rub on Lovie Smith. Like the guy couldn't get an offense.
Well, speaking of a rub, we have a Woody.
Yeah. And Woody's in the traffic.
Yeah, I can see you're moving very fast. I can see those trees whizzing past out your window.
What's that?
I can see the trees just whizzing past in the window there. Oh, but you're getting passed by a semi. How quick you're at that? Oh,
he's ready to get he's ready to get the fucking finger too. If you don't hurry up, I got to get over in that lane.
Oh my God, Woody got passed by a semi. Revoke that license.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you ain't going nowhere, pal.
We need to have a show of just Woody driving.
Oh yeah, that would get some views. Swear to fucking God.
Let me tell you. So Woody, best division in the NFC. What's your call?
Oh, the North. I think the championship game will probably be Eagles and Rams. That's my take. But yeah, the NFC North is probably.
So the North is the best division in football, but won't produce one of the top two teams in the NFC.
I think overall the division's better than everybody else. The better the one team teams coming out are in different divisions.
Okay. What about the AFC?
I like to say the AFC East or AFC North as well. So both North. East is up and down. You know, it's usually Buffalo. I have to say AFC North.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he brings a good point. Like, you have the best division, but not have the best team.
Mm-hmm.
No.
You know, and that's true. The NFC North is a really good division, but you know, honestly, I could see the Rams coming out of that terrible NFC West and going to. And you know, that's funny because during the season we're like, oh well, they play in a crappy division. Yet they'll end up in the NFC Championship game because they can be a really, really good team, just in a bad division.
Well, it's like last year when Detroit and Minnesota, one of the best records, and they lose first round.
Yeah.
Carl, I don't know who. Carl, I'm just going to shake my head and go, "Oh my God, I can't believe you went there." No,
I'm going to give you a +1 for that one.
Yeah, but I mean, Bears fans are going to be happy because for them, look at Bears fans see him as a major upgrade at center versus what we had. That Dahlman's a major, you know, upgrade over what we had over who was it last year? Not Whitehair.
Shelton.
Shelton, thank you, over Shelton. And honestly, I was making the argument that Bears could have been just fine keeping Shelton. You know, because he wasn't terrible, he wasn't stupid either, but neither was the line in general. So how much was that the guy to his left and his right as well and impacting him? But they're going to be excited because it's a new face. We spent money. A lot of teams wanted him, and we got him. So fans are going to be excited. I mean, I don't disagree with that analysis from Carl there. It's like, you know, he's a good center. Doesn't mean he's the best. Well, I didn't say he was the best center. He was the best center in free agency, as rated by a lot of people, a lot of places. You know, so Bears fans are going to be excited over it.
Yeah, it's our best center since Olin Kreutz.
Well, I don't know. I like Roberto Garza. Garza was good.
Oh, yeah.
And he made good TV commercials. Who could ever forget the commercial with him wearing Jay Cutler's jersey in the bathroom? That was hilarious. Yeah. No, but Garza was good. But, yeah, I mean, that's a good point, though, Woody. It's like you can have the best division, but the best teams might not – the best two teams might not be in your division, but you can still be the best division.
Yep.
And actually the AFC could be the same. Even though the AFC, one of the best two teams is probably coming out of that division, which is going to be Baltimore. You know, they've got Dawson Knox. He's not really their backup, and he's also one of the highest paid guys on their roster. His last 2 years, from a fantasy perspective, have been terrible, but they love Knox up there in Buffalo. In fact, if you watch on tonight on Open Mic for Driving to the Top, it'll be on my X page. There's a big Bills fan on there, and he'll tell you as much. The Bills are the class of the AFC East, though. And I think it'll be Buffalo and Baltimore in the AFC Championship.
Oof. I don't know. Baltimore flops. I don't know. I'd say Trey Hendrickson reporting the camp without a contract, them signing Higgins and Chase. Cincinnati is going to be a tough one too with Baltimore, believe it or not. I think Pittsburgh's going to flop. I just don't see them.
My thing with Cincy though is like they have an offense that almost seems like you can score at will, right? Joe Burrow, he's great, got it. But defensively, I mean, if they don't sack you, with which is Hendrickson, if they get him re-signed, which I think they will. Defensively, there's not much there outside of him. You got a pass rusher who can be a game wrecker and take a game over. I'll give them that credit. But come playoff time, you need a little bit more than just a guy on defense. So unless someone steps up in Cincy defensively outside of Trey Hendrickson, their defense is hugely suspect, and I don't think they're a dangerous team offensively. Granted, probably one of the most dangerous offensive teams in the league. But it's kind of like, who cares how dangerous you are offensively, and your defense can't stop anything.
There'll be a shootout every game.
Yep.
Believe it or not.
And that could work for the regular season, but come playoff time, that's when it's going to bite them.
That's what I'm saying. You're not going to beat Josh Allen in a shootout.
Mm-hmm.
Because their defense can, get a stop here and there, whereas yours can't. Baltimore's defense is good enough to get a stop, and even with their offense being a little anemic at times, your defense is terrible. They'll probably put some points on you. So, I mean, the Cincinnati's that wild card. Like, they could be really, really good, or they can be really, really disappointing this year.
Fuck.
I mean, kind of like Detroit in some regards, right? Detroit could be really, really good still this year, or the wheels could fall off.
I say it again, man. I don't know what you guys think. I'm scared of Minnesota.
Yeah.
Well, Carl, I'll make sure to get your 3 viewers to verify that, okay? And then I'll come back to you.
I can't read when I'm driving. Is it any good?
Well, because I mentioned Dawson Knox, who's still their top tight end, according to all Buffalo people. But Carl says he's not. He's the backup. But he's also got the biggest contract, one of the biggest contracts on that team. He's a stud tight end when healthy. Last year, he's had health issues the last 2 years. When healthy, he's a stud tight end.
Well, just like Mark Andrews, he had a slow start last year. And then like I said before, I'm surprised he's not getting death threats after that drop in the playoffs.
Yep.
I tried to watch, not to bash on Carl here, but I tried to watch, Broski and I tried to watch one of his draft specials, so I know the interior of his kitchen. Had to wait for about an hour and a half for Carl to say something. But, so, I mean, yeah, that's the guy making the argument there. Knox is still a good tight end. He had some health issues last year, but, I mean, they're a good team up there in Buffalo, and Cincy, they're that wild. Like last year, you didn't want to meet. You had the feeling no one wanted to meet them in the playoffs. Luckily, they didn't. For them, they didn't get in. For other teams, not for Cincy. They just got it. They're that quandary. Like, are they going to be good this year, or are they going to be like, eh?
Buffalo's always a good team, but they're another team. They remind me of Baltimore, flopping in the playoffs. They're good at regular season, but they flop. They can't beat Kansas City in the playoffs. But, yeah, they're a heck of a team, man. Heck of a team.
Well, over the last 7 or 8 years, who can beat Kansas City in the playoffs?
Bears in the Super Bowl. Detroit on week 1 when they don't have Kelsey or Pacheco.
Oh my God, Carl! Just stop talking while you can, because you're just making yourself.
Damn, I wish I can read these comments. I really do.
He says, so now annual salary determines who's the best. No one ever said that. Okay, the best players are the most popular and the ones getting paid the most. That's your criteria. You have to back up your defunct theory. Well, no one made that theory, first off, Carl. So once again, I don't know what he's doing in his kitchen.
I was going to say your comment could have been taken.
He might know. Let me get to that. He could be construed that, because I did mention that Dawson Knox does have a big contract. But why did he get that big contract? Because he's really freaking good. Like, if we were giving out big contracts, anyway, I'd give Carl a big contract with his 3 viewers on YouTube. But I don't, because he only has 3 viewers, so he's not going to get a big contract. Oh, and his next comment
I deserve a fucking
Luke
contract.
Musgrave is the best tight, and then he tries to attribute a quote to me, which I never made. Luke Musgrave, because Luke Musgrave's name never came out of my mouth. Luke Musgrave is the best tight end in the NFC North because his wife makes really good catfish. So he's in his empty kitchen again, coming up with these concepts. So I don't take Carl seriously, and neither should you. But back to what we were actually talking about. So Cincy, could they be the KC killer in the playoffs this year? And if they're the KC killer, does that mean Buffalo and Baltimore have a shot?
I was going to say, Burrow has shown that he can do it.
Yep, he can.
He's the only guy who's done it. Really?
Mm-hmm. So shit, that might.
It seems like when Joe Burrow, though, when he gets flustered, he gets fucking flustered. That's his issue. He's a stud with his blonde hair, but yeah, he gets flustered when he gets pissed off. I mean, you guys got to keep your composure in the playoffs when you're playing the whole game, not just getting pissed off when you're getting beat and then can't bring your team back.
And see, that's
but yeah,
that's the difference with him and Josh Allen. Josh Allen's like calm as a cucumber. That dude just like the last 2 times he's lost to Mahomes, he's had to sit on the bench and watch it. So it's not like he's not doing what he needs to do. It's Buffalo's defense.
Yeah, he's a tough son of a bitch too, Allen.
Yeah, he's getting a glimpse into that Aaron Rodgers life where you just get to sit on the bench and, oh, well, there goes my strainer of a defense just allowing everybody through.
Yeah. What's up, Steve? Good morning. Catching us at the end there. Good morning to you.
One-way street, fuckhead. One-way street. You're not supposed to go down it, dumbass.
Carl's still going off trying to get to his 4th viewer on his channel. In the comments there, it's kind of funny. God, I love people like Carl. But
well, Ken, I'll see you tomorrow night, maybe tomorrow morning, and bear down and fuck everybody. I'll see you.
There you go. Have a great day, Woody. We'll see you soon, man. Good talking to you.
Later.
See you, buddy.
Later. It's always good when we can be a soothing part of his drive, because otherwise, Woody be cursing at every car.
Yeah. Hence why I want to have a show just of Woody driving.
Woody's drive time. There we go. No, I'm looking forward to the season, man. I think
it would be driving with a Woody. I absolutely love the reaction from you.
You're gonna get Carl a little too excited if you do that, okay? Jesus. No, I'm looking forward to the season. I think the AFC is gonna be a fun conference to watch. The East is gonna be has some interesting drama to it. The North looks really good. The West, you're looking at a lot of improvement. On the NFC side, the North looks like 4 solid football teams in the North. The East is going to be fun to watch with the rest. What that rest of that division is doing to catch up to Philly. I mean, it should be interesting. And then out West, like, how good are the Rams, and what in the actual fuck are the 49ers? Are they good? Are they bad? I don't know what they are. They're a quagmire. They're like Carl's hair in the morning. They're like a bird's nest all over the place. I mean, could they comb it and make it look good and they win some stuff? Or is it just a crack addict hot mess? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think the 49ers are going to do that hot with losing all the weaponry that they did. Granted, they brought in a couple of pieces with the draft and that, but I don't have too much faith in Brock Purdy myself.
Is CMC going to play a lot? Is he not going to play a lot? What's going to happen in that receiving room? Kittle. I love Kittle, but how much can he get used? And he's had some injury issues the last couple of years too. I mean, like I said, I think they would have been better off letting Kittle walk and go with the youth movement and suck it up for a year or two. But that's something we can talk about more tomorrow on Wednesday. Oh, and also for the wrestling show, LFG Season 2 is back, just so you thought you might want to know that. So join the guys tomorrow for MMA. I don't know the LFG things for the other wrestling show. Never mind. We'll be back here tomorrow. Don't forget, though, tomorrow we've also got House Hall tomorrow night. Tomorrow, yes, we know who Garrett Wilson is, Carl. Thank you. Go back to your 3 viewers. Please, everyone, go check out Carl's page, and he's got 3 viewers. If you want to see the inside of someone's kitchen while he walks around looking like he just smoked a crack pipe, that's the channel for you. And the rest of you, which is everyone else,
we'll see you tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow, man. Have a great day.